Okay, we're back with Grand Tactician Civil War for the first battle of our Confederate campaign. Technically, it's not the first. Had a little bit of off-camera frustration. Where we left off the last episode, the Federal Army had come across the Potomac and was making a beeline for Beauregard's North Virginia Army. And in fact, the battle was initiated, which I went into and deployed the troops, and it was an attacking situation, and I was marching troops and ran into some kind of glitch or bug where an entire brigade just would not move. They marched a ways, but then on a movement order, they just wouldn't move. I could get them to change stance. It wasn't an order delay thing. One of the brigades kind of balled up graphically, the sprites or whatever they're called. And I could not get Walker's brigade to move. And that was basically the biggest division. I was already outnumbered. And I just wasn't going to continue on with 5 brigades against 30,000 men in McDowell's army. I tried using different commands, a charge command, and changing stances and changing formations, trying to get it to clear. Couldn't get anything to work. Tried saving the game, exiting out, reloading. That didn't work. Finally, I just said screw it, and I retreated out of the battle. So that counted as a loss. There was no combat. Never even saw the Federals. Came out, retreated a very short distance. Morale was fine. Provisions and forage were a little low, but ammunition is fine. And so right after that, a second battle was initiated, and that's where we are now. So this is kind of the second battle of Manassas Junction, but the first time we're actually going to see any combat. So what the game gave us was a meeting situation on the Manassas map. There is one objective which started in our possession, which would normally mean a defensive battle. I don't know why it's classified as meeting engagement. But our road is over here. The federal road is over here at McLean's Ford. And I looked at various routes that they could take. This is the only road that they have. So we had to deploy in this area. And I looked at the road network and the routes I thought that the AI would take. And I thought it very unlikely that the AI would come up this way around the back. I felt it was pretty clear that he was going to come up this road, and I guessed completely wrong. I didn't really see that there is this route kind of through here, which was more direct. So, anticipating a defensive situation, I set up my forces defensively, facing the wrong way, and just now, close to the end, it's almost 8 o'clock at night. It took all day for McDowell to march over here. But I've got my breastworks facing the wrong way. And that's the situation as contact is made and the battle actually commences. So now the time is rolling. The good thing, though, is that I think breastworks offer cover in both directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to had a little, let me pause again. Had some breastworks here, and then I was using this railroad embankment over here on the flank. So I'm just going to pop the troops on the other side of the railroad and the breastworks facing that direction, and hopefully that will be enough to not have a big problem in the hour or so that this battle will last for this day, and then we can redeploy. Of course, that puts the objective in front of us instead of behind us, but you know, the victory points for the possession of the objective really aren't important, and we'll be close enough that I'm pretty sure that the Federals will attack rather than just, you know, they can't take the objective and turtle right here. We're in range. And also, it's just the one army, and there are no reinforcements. I don't think that the AI is going to send some down this road in separate divisions over this way coming up in our rear. If there were two separate federal corps or federal small armies as they are in 1861, that very well might happen. They might take different routes. But since it's just the one army under McDowell, I think they're all going to come this same route. They'll split routes as armies or corps, but I don't think they'll do divisions being that far apart because of the command radiuses. That's what I hope anyway. I was already wrong once, badly, on this battle. Okay. So let's get this division to do that. This division, go ahead and pull in your skirmishers that are facing the wrong way. Do that. And let's see if we can hopefully I can get, hopefully these units will just, I wonder if they'll take cover behind the other side of the breastworks if I just change their facing. It's really all most of them need to do is just change facing. No, they're staying on the wrong side of the breastworks. lost sight of that one federal brigade. Oh, some skirms over here. There he is. Oh, he's still getting in his position there. I don't know. Evans may be forced off of. Maybe these guys may be forced off this railroad position. I'm not sure. Those are just federal skirmishers right there. Yeah, they're on the outside of the breastworks, but they still got the full green cover bonus, so breastworks kind of work in both directions. I think the parapets, the trenches do as well. Move. You know, he's changing his orientation first, I think. If this was earlier in the day and I thought there was going to be substantial fighting, I think I would pull these two brigades back to something like this and have them try to throw up some breastworks real quick. Although that would leave the flank hanging in the air. But as it is, I feel almost certain that the entire federal corps, excuse me, army, just load up right on these guys immediately. It was one of the reasons I had a nice open field of fire for the artillery, kind of a nice kill zone in here. As it is, they're looking straight into woods. Our artillery is going to have some terrible LOS now. Just going to scooch this battery forward just a little bit. Pull that skirm in before he reaches his lost resilience and breaks. Doesn't look like Billy Yank is really that interested in doing anything in the last few minutes before dusk. Okay. We can either maintain our line where it is, which would pretty much cede the objective, or we can deploy up here right on this line. We've got this small division under Barksdale. It's only 2 brigades, and the brigades are pretty small, and they're kind of extended now, but I've got 2 full divisions of 3 brigades apiece, and the brigades are larger. I can put one right in here in the woods and one right in here, and this is open, but we can get some artillery fire down through here. Might be a little bit better. And I've got just enough engineering points where I can put up some breastworks for a couple of brigades. And then this smaller division, I can just kind of have them back here, not immediately in the firefight, but in position to deliver some flanking fire over here on the flank hanging out, kind of refusing the right flank. And the left flank is completely anchored by the edge of the map. I think it would shorten our line a little bit and ensure that all 6 of these larger brigades in here are in the fight. Or if we stayed right here, I don't know if this division over here would really get much done, at least initially. So I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to set up my breastworks and redeploy these brigades, and I'll edit that bit out, and I'll be back when ready to start day 2. Okay, So I only had enough engineering points for a line of breastworks right here for Walker's division. So he's got Early and Maxley up on the breastworks. Cook is in, not Cook, I think that's Cock. Philip St. George Cock is in reserve. Because, you know, at least one of these brigades may break and he may have to take his place in line. Longstreet's division, because of the shape of the deployment, they're kind of staggered. The idea is they're going to kind of come up in a line about like this, and they may actually have time to build breastworks while time is running. It doesn't necessarily take that long. Got one artillery battery here, so he's got some open ground for a field of fire down this way, and the other battery I put right here on the road. So he's got an ability to fire right down through here, and my idea is that perhaps at close range he can get some canister fire going right in this area to help out Early to his right. And then the small division, Barksdale's kind of over here along this railroad track, so that if so they can help out if the Federals come right down through here trying to hit this flank. So we'll see how that works out. And then whenever you redeploy, any skirmishers that are out, they get kind of discombobulated. Need to get those back in. No skirms. Okay. I wasn't the only skirmisher detachment. Somebody else is hanging out somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, let's move Daniel up to about here. Are they retreating? No. I think maybe they're just forming up for their attack. Putting some skirms out over here to kind of delay any attention, give the main brigades plenty of time to throw up some breastworks. We can move this artillery battery up a little bit. About that. Longstreet's division, these are the guys with the breech-loading Hall rifles. And I don't usually mess around with playing with the uniforms, but in this case, because they've got that breech-loading firepower, I gave them a different uniform. Red coats and white trousers, which would be a bad idea tactically, but I don't think it matters in the game. So that I can quickly pick out. My idea is infantry units that get the very few breech-loading rifles in the game. I'm going to give them that uniform so that they more immediately stick out. Kind of scared I'm going to see Federals in my rear again over here. At least I've got breastworks already there in case that happens. This little division and Cook could respond. Man up facing this way. Yankees taking their sweet time. Speed up time a little bit. Okay, he's got skirmishers coming out. Slow time back down. Go ahead and lay down these skirmishers that are taking artillery fire. Alright, so the first breastwork is done, built in real time. So that was just a little bit over an hour of game time for Junius's brigade. Throw those up. course, then when they go and man, they don't just walk forward. They gotta rotate around, and what a mess. Messes up the skirmisher alignment. In fact, I'm just gonna let's get back a little bit. Thought I was. For some reason, Wither's breastwork is not completing. Jones is almost done. Breastwork is not even close to complete, but Withers is manning it anyway. Hey, as long as he gets a cover on this, hopefully. There we go. That works. We've had a couple little skirmisher units break, fold right back into their parent brigade, and send them right back out. And it's working. Federals have taken 1,000 casualties so far, and we've only taken 200. I mean, it's not quite like a brigade's worth of fire, not close, but man for man, skirmisher units are pretty powerful. Especially over on this side with these Hall rifles. We'll also burn through ammunition with those fast-firing rifles a lot more slowly. Eventually they'll advance and we won't be able to throw out skirmishers anymore. There's nobody back here. Those skirmisher routes like that do count as routes. Finding targets. Yeah. Right down through here. He's got shots. That's fine. $1,400 to $300. Okay, let's pull that skirm back in. It's okay. Let's pull that one back in. I didn't order that skirm to go out. I think that was just commander initiative. I guess. Okay. Morale is much higher. That's because we're fighting on home territory. That guy's not doing anything worthwhile. He's not shooting anybody. Should have put the Parrot battery over here and the smoothbore over here. I didn't even think about that. They're both finding targets regardless. This whole clump not doing anything over here. Let's pull those skirms back in. Daniel's skirm's doing fine. Let's pull Withers back in. Almost 2,000 casualties for the Federals, about 500 for us. Oh, 650 casualties for this brigade. 450 for that brigade. Richardson and Schenck. It's Israel Richardson. One of my favorite Union generals from the kind of brigade division level. Okay. Early skirmishes are not doing anything productive. Brigade's taken almost, actually a little bit over 30, 1/3 casualties, 800, and that has come almost exclusively from skirmishers. Probably 80% of those casualties from skirmishers. Skirmishers with Hall rifles. Wavering about 3. Pull that guy back in. Okay, let's pull in all these skirms from Longstreet's division to plus up their ammo, reset their morale. Put them back out. he's still got more than 50 rounds of man. He's still around. This little clump of federal infantry, though, is in cover. Or these two are. This guy in front isn't. He actually hasn't taken that many casualties yet. This brigade advances. It's slow through the woods, but more Federals coming down this way. It's kind of what this smaller division is over here on the flank for. And Evans can fire into here while still being in cover of the railroad. Although they've got kind of a funky position. Okay. First Federal Brigade is wavering. It'll break soon. That's Erasmus Keys. Not having a good day. Early's doing all right there. Off this brigade. Hold those skirms in to clear Max's field to fire. Start engaging 1st Brigade. Evans is also shooting at him. Not feeling too... I don't think there's any Federals hiding in the fog of war over here. Let's move... Holmes up this way. think Shank's skirmishers are going to lose the exchange with Jones's skirmishers on rate of fire alone. It's taking a little bit of artillery fire. Evan's funky little position there. I'm not sure he's getting too many guns on McReynolds. I'm going to move him up. Let's do that. With the flanking fire effect on McReynolds. Those skirms okay, those skirms okay. Fair amount of load. Let's get these skirmishers to focus on that artillery. That feuding artillery, apparently. Oh no, that's not artillery, those are detachments. I don't know where they got guns. They're not mine. Well, maybe they picked up abandoned federal guns. Getting a little toasty. Just precaution, I'm going to move Conk up pretty close behind him. McReynolds is wavering. I'll be taking over 500 casualties. Yep. Pushed Shank's detachment back. Go ahead and pull these guys in for ammo. About a 4-to-1 casualty ratio. We have taken over 1,000 casualties. it's time to come out of the works. They're starting to pull back. Trying to move Walker himself. There we go. Don't know if we're going to get to 22% for the major. But his brigade has picked up their first experience star, as has Early himself. Sort of Holmes to double time. See if he can catch up to that artillery. And there he goes. if we're going to have a shooting opportunity on anybody else. Alright, bit of chasing there through the woods and so forth, but right at the tail end, the major victory. And kind of what happens there is, as retreating or routed units exit the battlefield, that number of troops is subtracted from the enemy's overall total, which brings down the number that you got to get a certain percentage of. So even if you don't inflict any more casualties, the percentage can go up. So a lot of times it looks like you got a gap of several percentage points, and they're all running away, and you can't go fast enough to get any of them, especially with no cavalry at this stage of the campaign. And but you can get there via that route. Okay, well, we didn't lose any cav because we didn't have any. Didn't lose any guns. That's good. A little over 1,000 infantry, whereas McDowell lost most of his guns and 5,000 of his infantry. Just take a quick look at the. Huh, interesting. The 2 artillery batteries evaluated as best in division. See how they did for casualties. Yeah, those 2 little batteries did 500 casualties. That's pretty good for artillery in this game. Longstreet's division with the Hall rifles, not surprising. Over 2,000 casualties. Walker's division, heavily engaged. That was early in Maxey over there on the right in the woods. So they came close. And that's really from 2 brigades. Cox Reserve Brigade over there, I don't know if they ever fired a shot. And then Barksdale's 2 small brigades over on the flank did pretty good considering their size and the fact that they weren't engaged for much of the battle as well. Oh, okay. The Washington Artillery. That's best battalion. Is there a best brigade? Yeah, 6th Brigade. That's I think that's early. Yeah, the one unit that picked up its first experience star. I don't know if any of Longstreet's guys did. Nope. Or Barksdale's. Nope. So looks like these are all infantry divisions, a few guns in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They've all got a lot of infantry. It looks like we really only had 2 out of the 5 federal divisions involved in that engagement, the 1st and the 5th. Light losses in the other 3 divisions. Interesting. Didn't really get their full weight to bear on us. Okay, well, that should send the Federals scurrying back to Washington, D.C. And that is a good beginning to the campaign. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more of that. Enemy national morale drops by a percentage point. Our military experience goes up. Support for the Yankee cause waivers. We are at orange readiness, though. Because earlier, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, McDowell came down, battle occurred, had glitchy movement problems. I just kind of bailed out of the battle. And so that counted as a loss. If I turn monuments on, yeah, there's going to be... Well, I would have thought there would be 2 monuments here. There's one here. Yeah, federal minor victory here. Only a couple hundred casualties on each side. Should be a... Well, technically, I think we're still in battle because we're about to have the retreat phase. Yeah, I think this newspaper headline, Disaster for the Union, Confederates Stand Firm, I think that's related to our win a major battle objective. Huh. Still no battle monument. There it is. I think we're sitting on it. That's why I couldn't see it. There's another little flag there. Yes. Win a major battle. Union national morale -5. And fame for the Confederate commander. I guess that would be Beauregard. Yeah, that plopped him down pretty good. I think we started the campaign with federal morale at like 100. Or what? Or no, I think that was Army morale. Still, I think you start with 90 or 95. So that's pretty good. Pretty good pop. We're on our way. In any case, that will do it for this episode. With that earlier very short retreat, kind of trashed Beauregard's provisions and forage, but he's got them back already. His readiness will be coming back up pretty quickly, I think. Meanwhile, I think there's a Department of Pennsylvania under Patterson coming over this way toward Winchester. And that's probably what we're going to have to deal with next in a future episode. Thank you very much for watching.